Hello and welcome to Teaching My Cat to Read, the very serious book review podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Em.
And I'm Lottie. And this week on our bonus mini episode, we're discussing everything about Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Oh my god, this book is so complicated.
So many people die.
I always forget how many people die and like how many moving parts there are. It's like there's so many people on this fucking boat.
It's pretty contrived, and yeah, it's. I mean, I was reading the plot synopsis to refresh my memory of you know what even happens in this book, and I forgot how many people die. It's like really these two, like, murder lovebirds are just offing people left, right, and centre. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and we are going to obviously spoil the plot of this book.
Oh, yeah, sorry, spoilers.
Yeah.
If you haven't worked that one out yet, which it will be in the description. But, yes, fun questions we didn't do last time. Who gets the F-bomb? I don't think we did this last time.
Like, I listened to the end of the previous episode to try and work it out, and I did not write down that we had done who gets the F-bomb. But for some reason my brain is like, maybe?
I mean, I just always think it should be Poirot. I love him. I think he should get a little use of the fuck word as a treat.
No, I think it should be like the captain of the boat, just being like, why on my boat? Like, I'm just trying to do
my boat
a nice...
so full of murder now?
Yeah, like, you know, his tour reputation's going to go down because, you know, everybody's died on his boat or whatever, so...
Okay, I've got a good one because I reread it this morning and yesterday, and there was a scene that I had forgotten about in which, I think it's when they're talking about the jewel thieving situation, and Poirot turns to his best buddy Colonel Race and is like, hey, you seem a bit miffed, and he's like, you are kind of helping them evade justice, aren't you? No law, no courts, blah, blah, blah. And Poirot's like, yeah? And Colonel Race is basically like, well, I'm not a cop. Fuck that. He's like, I don't care. I'm not a cop. This makes no never mind to me. So I think in that scene, what Colonel Race should have actually said was, fuck cops.
What am I, a cop?
Yeah, he said, what am I, a cop?
I mean, that is Poirot's like whole attitude, pretty much, on this boat.
I mean, all the best detectives have that. Like, yeah, because like the woman, like Linnet, comes to him and is just like, hey, you've got to help me. And he's just like, what am I, a cop? What am I, a bodyguard? No. Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's jewel thieving happening on this boat. What am I, a cop?
I am not looking. I do not see it.
I'm just going to turn a blind eye to the kleptomaniac who's just nicking everybody's stuff. Like, who cares about that?
Well, there's two jewel thieves. There's two sets of jewel thieves. There's the kleptomaniac and there's the like semi-professional jewel thieves.
Yeah.
There's a secret murderer archaeologist. What am I, a cop? There's a bunch of embezzling. What am I, a cop? Yeah, he's just like king of staying in his lane, and we love to see it.
This is one of the things I love also about Holmes, is that like he's not a cop and he will just do what he thinks is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, you know, why would you have a detective if you're just going to make them be a cop?
Like, I tell you what, you have different things to say if your detective's a cop. You know what I mean? And it can just be, I think procedurals are cool, which is, you know, people do that. But like,
you could watch House instead, though, is the thing. If you just think procedurals are cool.
See, the thing
like,
is...
Dr. Gregory House is there for you.
The thing is, I don't have to. In general, I'm like, there's no reason for your detective to be a cop. Just let it go. Let that die. It's fine. Let the propaganda out of your heart. On the other hand, I love Rivers of London so hecking much. So that's got, there's one little pass in my, what am I, a cop mentality there. Although, to be fair, the answer to that question in that book is, you know, what am I a cop? No, I'm a wizard.
I'm
also a cop. But
I have a fun question because you mentioned London. Now, if you've been to London, if you've been there as a tourist, if you live there, it's a lot of people, very loud. But what you will see if you go across the river near the London Eye, you'll see these boats drifting down. Well, I say drifting, not drifting, they're underpowered, but they're drifting down the river.
Or they're anchored and they don't go anywhere.
They can be anchored as well, and they are the party boats. So you'll see a lot of people drinking alcoholic beverages at 11 o'clock in the morning on these boats. And I'm just wondering, how would the plot of this book be different if it was set on?
Well, they'd never have recovered the gun that had been dropped in the river, right?
No.
The official,
because the Thames is Ankh-Morpork. Like, the Thames is the Ankh. Yeah. Like, it's...
Well, there is a whole thing. I think they revoked. You can't get permits for it anymore. But it used to be that you could get an official permit to go wander around on the mud of the Thames and like find cool garbage. It's like an archaeologist's dream. There's like sometimes you'll find Coke cans, sometimes you find gold. It's a whole thing.
Surely you can still do that though. I
imagine a not insignificant amount of human remains as well. Like
yes, I think teeth,
occasional
skulls,
lost whales. Just confused.
So I think what actually happens in the Thames party boat situation is that they find somebody like 100, 200 years from now finds all the physical evidence of the crime in the mud while they're doing like illegal salvage in the Thames because it's a tradition that's never going to die, and reconstruct the murder from that.
What, magnet fishing or something?
We get like the true crime podcast reconstruction of it.
Oh no! The future murder podcast, only murders in the Thames.
So my entire experience of those party boats, as somebody who grew up in London, is going to a bat mitzvah party on one of them.
Fair?
And I'm just... Fair? We weren't drinking booze because we were like 13. But I do remember the party boats being ridiculous and thinking at the time, like, this is a little bit much, isn't it?
I think I think it would be quite... I don't think they have like an upstairs and downstairs. I think it'd be quite hard for the kleptomaniac to steal stuff.
Well, it would be... I think the plot would have to be so deeply compressed unless they get lost. Unless somebody takes over the boat and they end up like pirating it all the way up as far up the Thames as it's possible.
You know what it should be? It should be Linnet and Simon's, like, it should be her bachelorette or something.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like, ultra messy, like, everybody arguing at each other. Oh.
But the thing is, if she was going for a bachelorette, sorry, this is just a very niche part of train journeys I have taken for work, when you're getting an 11 o'clock train in the morning, and there is normally a group of people going to a show in London, and they are drinking the champagne at 11 o'clock on the train.
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that.
That would be
usually older folks. It's older people with their, like, and they've got their M&S, like, cocktails in a jar, and their champers, and they've bought picnic champagne glasses.
Yeah, from the M&S shop in the railway station, and that would be Linnet.
Having the time of their lives.
I feel that would be like the, who's the rich old lady on the... Her, basically,
Miss
the rich old lady. Yeah, her. She would be one of those people, and Linnet Doll would be on the party boat. And Hercule Poirot, I don't know where he'd be. Where would he be? He'd probably just be in a pub somewhere, just like chilling.
He's like desperately trying, because he's going to be late for the concert that he's going to at the South Bank, at the Royal Festival Hall that evening, and he's just like, I just want to go to my concert, please.
I just want to go to my concert, and I have to deal with the concert.
Please let me out of this horrible party boat. Let me off. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
I will walk. I refuse to go.
And that's part of his, what am I, a cop? He's like, I don't want there to be paperwork. Leave me alone.
If it sucks, hit the bricks. Real detectives quit.
Another fun question that Em raised to me earlier today was, yesterday, I forget.
Time's not real.
Exactly. Would this murder mystery be like, if there was a necromancer here who could bring back one or more of the murder victims, like, how would that change the narrative, like, right?
That's a good question.
Would this murder be solved quicker if we had a pet necromancer? Is what I would like to know.
I would then say which necromancer, because if it was, say, Sabriel, very useful. If it was Harrow, potentially less useful.
Well,
yes, you want Abigail
Penn
from the Fifth House. Yeah. For that.
It's not made clear in Gideon if Harrow is actually capable of talking to the dead, or if that's something that she can learn, or if it's something that she currently doesn't know how to do or could never learn how to do. She's not very interested in it. She's like, I can make really cool shit with bones. Why do I need to talk? I don't like people. Why would I be talking to dead people? Look at all this cool shit I can do with bones.
Yeah.
She's just making me cool shit with bones from the dead people on the boat.
I tell you what, my perspective on this one, I think, is that until the second and third murder, having a necromancer does you no good at all, because Linnet Doyle didn't see who killed her.
Yeah.
Because she was asleep.
That's true.
So waking her up to be like, hey, who murdered you?
All that changes is she gets to tell Poirot, I told you so.
Yeah, that's true. Which, to be fair, she's earned that. That's fair enough.
I think he does feel very bad when she dies.
With the Ouija board, I told you so. Goodbye.
Do you know what I think would be funny? Is you bring Wei Wuxian onto the boat and he prevents it by simply intuiting that Simon and Jacqueline are still in cahoots. I think he just reads them for filth.
See, I think the thing that happens if Wei Wuxian is on that boat is that everybody forgets all the motives they could possibly have to hate Linnet Doyle, because it turns out that Wei Wuxian murdered half their family.
Oh, he's like a hate magnet.
Or they think Wei Wuxian murdered their family, and he does that classic Wei Wuxian thing of being like, I don't even listen, if I'd killed your mother / lover / mother / brother, sister, friend, whole clan, whatever, pet turnip, I don't know. If I had killed them, I would have done it better and nobody would have ever found out.
Do you think that's like just an innate quality that he has, that when you meet him, you begin to suspect him of having killed someone close to you, even if you never have had someone close to you die?
That's actually like the curse.
An aura that he has.
No, that's the curse of demonic cultivation. It's not that it actually corrupts your soul or whatever.
Yeah. I've just realised we haven't, this is the first time we've talked about Wei Wuxian and, the Untamed and,
I was going to ask a very quick question. Who is Wei Wuxian?
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Sorry, quick question, teacher.
Oh, yeah. He is a necromancer. He has caused so many problems. Endless necromancy problems. But yeah, this is the thing I was going to say. That's actually the corruption that demonic cultivation does to you. It's not that it corrupts your soul and it drives you mad and you'll be torn apart by ghouls. It's that it makes everybody start to suspect that you murdered a member of their family.
Just a real hindrance to your social life. Yeah, so he is like the main guy. He is like the Blorbo from The Untamed, which was an adaptation of a book called Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I don't know what it is in the original Mandarin. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think in the English fandom, I think you just usually refer to it as MZDS. I think that's the right way around.
MZDS.
Which is the initials because,
that's how you abbreviate stuff for Mandarin.
Kanji and tones are hard. And
this is both Em and I watched the show during lockdown and went insane about it for a little bit because it's really good.
I don't think it's possible to watch it and not go insane about it. Yeah, to be honest.
I also think this. I have not read the book. I think you've read the book.
I have read the book, and it's very good.
But he's a necromancer, so But he's also primarily a messy bitch.
And also, primarily a guy who, talks to ghosts specifically to find out what happened to them. Anyway, yes, you're right. We've got... I don't know. I feel like if Lyriel was on this boat, if the terrible trio plus dog were on this boat, they would deal with it very differently to Sabriel. I think Lyriel would be very shy and very upset that there's all of these, rich people being sociable and demanding, proper manners and society out of her. She's like, no, I don't like this. I think she's the one that, the man Simon. Jacqueline, I literally read this morning. The fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, that Jacqueline corners Lyriel to start having the pointed dramatic conversation that causes the scene that provides the alibi. I think she grabs Lyriel instead, and Lyriel's like, what the fuck is happening? I hate
What is wrong with you?
I'm gonna jump into the Nile. Nobody can stop me.
I'm out. Nope.
But I tell you what, this is the thing, one of the things that our two favourite necromancy things share, is that death being a river. So it's death on the Nile, but does the Nile, in a like sort of spooky, we've got necromancers here, does it just turn into the river of death?
Yo, dog, I heard you like death, so I put some death on your death. Yeah.
What, just double death?
We're trying to get this fancy cruise boat down like across one of the really fucked up gates in the.
Well, we asked this in a previous mini episode, didn't we? Can Harrow cross running water?
We did.
Which is can Harrow even be on that boat, regardless of whether or not she wants to do bone shit?
This is a very good point. I feel like Poirot would defend Gideon instantly. I think he'd have the same instinct that Magnus had of being like, cool teenager. Seems out of place. I will befriend instantly.
I will look after.
That is very Poirot.
Yeah,
yes.
He loves a spooky teenager.
Just rounding them up, just casually, like. Before we sign off, I'm just going to ask, are there, I guess, any other books you've read recently that you've enjoyed, want to give a shout out to, yell about?
Bold of you to assume I can read.
I don't know if I mentioned this in one of the previous mini episodes. I read The Hollow Places. Oh, I think it's actually just called Hollow Places. I can't quite see. I'm looking at it, but my light is shining right in my face. By T. Kingfisher, which is Ursula Vernon's pen name for adult fiction. And it's really good, creepy, weird horror. What if you went to the place that in the first Narnia book where it's like all the pools and you can go into different worlds from them, but it was like bad and fucked up and not good, and you didn't like it.
In Magician's Nephew, it is also bad and fucked up and not good.
yeah. What if that, but weird horror? So in some ways, it reminded me a little bit of Annihilation, which I also read the Southern Reach trilogy recently. Or I think there's going to be another one of those soon. And in some ways, it was just really good. It's a first person narrated story, which I normally hate. But I normally don't like it. I've read quite a lot of bad stuff that's written in the first person.
You have to really sell it to me.
Yeah, I really loved the protagonist, the voice of the story in this. So that was really, really good.
Ah, that's cool.
So I would hard recommend for that one.
I've been reading letters from the DWP.
Worse horror than anything I've read.
The Demon of Woes and Pestilence. Every day they send me letters. Every day.
You have been invited to appointment at time.
I'm still not over that.
It's funny. Yeah. Guys, we do need to wrap up the mini episode there. So thank you all so much for listening. If you have any books to recommend to us, remember you can always contact us via our website. We will get back to you in about 6 to 12 business months. But thank you all so much for listening. Big virtual hugs, and we will see you next time. Bye.